You mentioned Secretary Hegseth. Here's a quote from the Department of Defense Inspector General report on that release of sensitive information over the Signal app. According to the Inspector General, the Secretary sent information identifying the quantity and strike times of manned U.S. aircraft over hostile territory over an unapproved, unsecured network approximately 2 to 4 hours before the execution of those strikes. The Secretary's actions created a risk to operational security that could have resulted in failed U.S. mission objectives and potential harm to U.S. pilots. Isn't that a concern?
I reviewed the IG report, and it's a nothing burger. The fact is there was allegations that this was confidential or classified information, I should say. It wasn't. There was no operational integrity problems. That operation Rough Rider was executed flawlessly. So was, by the way, Midnight Hammer. So you can't really call that into a question. There's no confidential or classified information that was disclosed. And again, I think the bigger concern that you didn't have a hue and cry about from the Democrats was when Secretary Lloyd Austin went in for a medical procedure, was incapacitated, and didn't tell the president. Literally, we had a Secretary of Defense that wasn't on duty and nobody knew about it. Like, that's a real problem. This was a nothing burger, and that's what the IG report that I read last week in the SCIF indicated.
It said it was a risk to operational security.
But it wasn't. It wasn't. There was no, listen, remember when this scandal, so-called scandal started, it was about classified information being disclosed. It wasn't classified information. So again, you pivot to this sort of sensitive information, but there was no risk. There was no risk. And by the way, I'll point out, Signal is approved by the U.S. government for communications. And so if you want to have a broader discussion about that, we probably can. But I think the bigger issue was, you know, in the previous administration, you had real operational risk. You had a department, you had a Secretary of Defense that was incapacitated in a surgery, and nobody knew about it for days. That's a problem.